Hello and welcome to Taco's drawing tutorial. So there's a log cabin and or whatever the fuck it was. Anyways, here we go on to the next frame and we're going to start drawing now. So what I like to do instead of like I guess trying to draw fucking bullshit little fucking roofs and shit and try to remember what I've seen and then redraw that. I like to draw a triangle and a rectangle. Just skewed a little bit, you know what I mean? Okay. So now we're going to start on the body of the house. And that's just a square on this side. You might want to make it a little higher so that the angles kind of work together. And now the front of the house, which is longer, it's a rectangle instead of a square. So think of a rectangle that's sort of teeter-tottered a little bit. Now I'm adding these lines here for shingles, like that, see? But instead of just shingles, they're there to sort of show depth and also to give it more of a layered feel rather than just something that's been colored with a crown. It adds, you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. Okay, so then we started on the door here. And I don't think that I was happy with the height and the width, so yeah, so I delete that. And I redraw it here. Once again, it's just a tall rectangle or a taller square, just like I said, teeter-tottered a little bit. And the window, it's more of a square than a rectangle. It's just a little bit longer. And add a little, okay, here I'm sort of shaping it. Use logic and add that for a sort of shine. Now we're going into the coloring part here. Oh no, I'm doing the door hinge, or not door hinge, the doorknob. I usually tend to overshoot my mark on circles. Okay, now we do the color. So we try to find a nice color, so sort of yellowish brown, like diarrhea almost. And I fuck up here, so I say fuck it and just get the whatever the fuck tool. And now this part kind of messed me up too, because it didn't look very good in the way that it was, as you, like light then dark then light then dark then light then dark. But you'll see that later. As you can see, the light's coming in from the left, and you'll see more about that later. And where was it? Oh, door. And then we start working on the window after the door. It took so goddamn long on this. I'm recording audio after the fact. And white for the shine. Okay, so I selected color for the door hinge, or doorknob, what the fuck ever. A nice sort of brass color. I don't know why it zoomed in like that. I'm using some gay ass thing. I wanted to show you guys that I deleted all the fucking lines, but it didn't really show that very well. Anyways, yeah, I fucked up here because I didn't like the coloring of the shingles. So I replaced the shingles, and right here I'm making sort of a palette. instead of individually going and changing them each time. So instead of light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, now it's dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. uh. Okay, so yeah, just what I'm showing you here. The concept of what I like to draw is more about understanding that they're shapes and that they're not something in your mind. So instead of trying to create something that you saw last week from downtown, like you're trying to draw a building, don't just think of the building, try to think of what's in the building. How many triangles, how many squares, how many, other shit. And here I'm going to cut off a little bit of it to give the roof a little bit of an overhang, which isn't very hard to do. And the detail adds a lot to the art. And add a little bit on this side. You don't really have to worry about the middle corner. And I'm also going to add a little window seal. Now, you don't want to get it right on the window because people don't build windowsills like that. They build it a little bit on the outside. Okay, so there's the top of the windowsill, and there's one of the sides. And there's the outward side. Okay, so we make the left side, or right side, dark as the right side of the house because no light's hitting it. And we make the upward side light, but we made the, yeah, you can see what I was doing. Alright. And that's pretty much the house. Oh yeah, I forgot, we added a chimney on this one. So, there's more drawing, I guess. And that's just two rectangles instead of, like a chimney, like you would think your house has or whatever. You actually look at it in sort of an autistic way. I hear that autistic people see shapes instead of seeing regular stuff, I think. I don't fucking know. And, yeah. And ever since I've used this in my art, it looks a lot better, I think. And right here we're using the outside. Here's an interesting thing that I decided to do. I don't like using black or white or anything like that. I don't like using absolute colors. I like to use an in-between. So it kind of turned me off whenever I used black right here. So I removed the frame, or the lines there. And I was going to change it to like charcoal, but then I decided, no, I'm going to actually give it some personality. Okay, so we delete that. And over there I changed the brightness. Oh no, I didn't change the brightness, I just changed it up a bit. The saturation. Okay, now here I draw a dick, but I want to stress the importance of changing from the red, blue, green coloring to the hue, saturation, and brightness, the HSB, and you change that by going to the color panel. Oh fuck, well I'm out of time, whatever.